What's wrong with me? Why do I feel disconnected, even though I love my partner? Why does desire fade, and how do I get it back? In today's BookLia episode, we're diving into a book that has transformed thousands of lives, especially for women trying to understand their own desire, body, and worth. Come As You Are by Dr. Emily Nagoski. This isn't a how-to sex manual. It's a liberating, science-backed, heartfelt guide to understanding that you are not broken, your body and brain are just misunderstood. And once you learn the truth about your desire, your relationships, and your confidence, will never be the same. So let's unpack the science of sexuality, and finally silence the shame. Come As You Are was first published in 2015, written by Dr. Emily Nagoski, a health educator, researcher, and one of the world's leading experts on women's sexual well-being. At its core, the book is about understanding how female desire really works, based not on outdated myths, but on modern neuroscience and psychology. The book exploded in popularity because it offered something radical. You are normal. Your desire is not broken. And the things you think are flaws are actually features. Dr. Nagoski had spent years listening to women say the same thing in different ways. I used to want sex, but now I don't. I love my partner, but the spark is gone. Why do I never initiate? Why do I feel ashamed when I should feel pleasure? And she realized, most women were comparing themselves to a false standard of desire. A model built for men. A model that ignored emotions, context, stress, and trauma. So this book became a blueprint, not just for better sex, but for self-compassion, connection, and emotional healing. It's rooted in the belief that pleasure is your birthright. Let's break down the science, the stories, and the life-changing lessons. 1. You are not broken, you're just misinformed. Dr. Nagoski begins with the single most important truth. There is no normal when it comes to sexuality, only what's true for you. So many women feel ashamed of how they work. They think they're too slow, too fast, too much, too little. But the science shows, sexuality is diverse, and context matters more than people realize. There's no single way desire is supposed to look. It's personal. It's complex. And it's valid. Real life story. A woman came to Dr. Nagoski convinced she had a low libido. But after unpacking her stress, resentment, and emotional fatigue, they realized her desire hadn't disappeared. It was just buried under years of unmet emotional needs. This book teaches, if something doesn't feel right, it's not you that's broken, it's the model you were taught to follow. 2. The dual control model, gas and brakes. Desire works like a car, it has a gas pedal and brakes. The gas pedal responds to things that turn you on, flirting, touch, emotional safety. The brakes respond to things that turn you off, stress, anxiety, body shame, past trauma. Some people have sensitive gas pedals. Others have hypersensitive brakes. Most low desire cases? It's not about hitting the gas harder, it's about releasing the brakes. Example. A woman trying everything to fix her low desire, lingerie, date nights, etc. Nothing worked. Turns out, her stress about her job, her kids, and her body image were all slamming the brakes. Once she addressed those, her desire naturally returned. You don't need to be more turned on, you just need to be less turned off. 3. Responsive versus spontaneous desire. This is a game changer. There are two main types of desire. Spontaneous, desire that appears out of nowhere, like a spark. Responsive, desire that grows after arousal begins, like warming up a car. Movies portray spontaneous desire as normal. But most women experience responsive desire and think they're broken when they don't feel that spark instantly. Example. A woman said, "I never want sex, but once we start, I love it." That's responsive desire. It doesn't mean you're defective, it means your desire is contextual, not constant. Once couples understand this difference, they stop waiting for desire to magically appear and start creating space for it to unfold. 4. Context is everything. Dr. Nagoski says that what's arousing in one situation may feel completely unsexy in another. Why? Because context is king. After a long, exhausting day, you're not likely to feel turned on. After an argument, your brain won't shift into intimacy mode. But after laughter, cuddling, safety, desire often awakens. Therapy example. One woman said she had zero libido. But when she and her partner began to prioritize non-sexual intimacy, dancing, slow dinners, meaningful conversations, her desire naturally reignited. Sexuality doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens in a context. And you can change that context. 5. Body image and self-compassion affect everything. Dr. Nagoski doesn't shy away from this truth. You cannot hate yourself into pleasure. So many women disconnect from intimacy because they're ashamed of their bodies. They focus on how they look instead of how they feel. And that kills desire. But here's the truth. You are worthy of love and pleasure as you are. Example. A woman hated taking off her clothes. She felt disgusted. After weeks of body-neutral practices and affirmations, she finally said, "For the first time in years, I felt free in my own skin." Desire isn't just physical, it's deeply emotional. And it begins with how you speak to yourself. 6. Desire is cyclical, not linear. We often think of desire as a straight line, attraction, arousal, orgasm, done. But Dr. Nagoski shows that desire ebbs and flows. And that's normal. Sometimes, you'll feel disconnected. Sometimes, desire fades. But it doesn't mean the love is gone, it means life is happening. She encourages couples to think of intimacy as a dynamic process, not a fixed pattern. Real example. A couple married for 15 years said, "We used to think something was wrong when we went weeks without sex. Now we realize it's just a phase, and we reconnect in other ways until the desire returns." When you accept desire as cyclical, you stop panicking and start reconnecting. 7. Pleasure is a right, not a reward. This is one of Dr. Nagoski's most powerful messages. Pleasure is not a luxury. It's a necessity. Many women were raised to believe they must earn intimacy, or that their pleasure is secondary. But this book reframes everything. You are entitled to joy. You are designed for pleasure. And you don't need anyone's permission to feel good in your body. Story. One woman said, "For years I thought orgasms were a bonus, not something I was allowed to want." This book changed that. She began exploring her body without guilt, and it transformed how she showed up in every part of her life. Come As You Are isn't just about better sex. It's about self-trust, emotional healing, and liberation. It's about unlearning shame, embracing truth, and saying, "I am not broken. I am enough. I deserve to come as I am." Because when you understand how your body and brain truly work, you stop fighting them, and you start embracing them with compassion, curiosity, and power. What part of this video resonated with you the most? Was it the gas and brakes model? Responsive desire? Body compassion? Drop a comment and let someone else know they're not alone. If this episode helped you reclaim your story, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more honest, human, and healing books like this one. This is BookLia. One book. Big insights.